We start today's adventures at a railroad crossing next to a cemetery. I wonder if the energy of the railroad and the train going by gives any energy to any ghosts or spirits lurking about in this cemetery. And even on the outside here, there's probably a family buried in a crypt here, and some graffiti on it, which really stinks. So I just want to let people know out there, please have respect for crypts and memorials at your local graveyard and cemetery. Please do not put graffiti on any of these memorials, because then it ruins it for the rest of us. It is locked, but let's see if anybody's home. Is anybody home? If you are, can you open this door? Or if not, can you go right through that door? There's a little side road here, but it is kind of busy. Looks like they just cut the grass today. A lot of people cutting the grass multiple times this year. A very rainy spring and summer. It'll be interesting to see what that does to the fall color. Hey, this is another one. No dogs allowed. Let's see what it says here. Erected by James J. Howison in memory of Robert R. Howison and James Johnson. Well, welcome back to another episode of My Cemetery Tours with the Graveyard Guy. And I'm your host and local paranormal investigator, Mark Lynn. And thank you for coming back on another episode for another haunted journey with me. Today we're in Milford, New Hampshire, and we are at West Street Cemetery, number 3, 1941. I love this granite. Again, cemetery hours, 7 a.m. to dusk, which is pretty much from dawn till dusk, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Let's do it. Now, I have visited this cemetery a few times just this year in 2021 for the first times ever. I have not done a paranormal investigation of this place or even used my SB7 spirit box or my S-box spirit box. So I can't tell you whether this place is haunted or not. It's not listed as haunted, but again, I've tested out my SB spirit box in other places and have gotten spirits and ghosts coming by in the cemetery graveyard that's not listed as haunted, and I've proved them to be haunted. And it's a decent sized cemetery. I might not show you all of it, but I'll show you what I can. And before I started filming, there was a landscaping crew out here, so they just cut the grass and it looks really nice. Well, on this one, another Hutchinson burial. I wanted to bring you to this if I can read it and you can see it. Somebody stuck this onto the memorial and it says, "Please don't wait till you're here to ask the Lord Jesus Christ into your heart. Today is the day of salvation, Acts 4:12. I wanted to show you that real quick. You know, we got paved roads coming in down the center, but then we got these, and I love it with those granite posts with the wrought iron black gate. That's awesome. And we got this is a beautiful day today. There's the American flag. God bless the United States of America. Hashtag all lives matter. And some of these cemeteries and graveyards, it's maybe an odd or strange or funny thing to say, but some of them do so well, like with these flowers in the beginning, like where they have, sometimes in the smaller cemeteries you'll see potted flowers and potted plants. Here they're growing like a little garden. They do such a nice job of decorating cemeteries and graveyards here in the great granite state of New Hampshire. Live free or die. And there's one down there, memorial looks like by the symbol maybe of World War I or World War II. Very nice. Well, let's go on this dirt road. Oh, these flowers are gorgeous right here on the back. I love that color. Very nice. But also too, with these different episodes of my cemetery tours with the graveyard guy, it's amazing. Even like this is an older burial that family members and friends and relatives still remember by planting these flowers or leaving decorations. So I'm really amazed in all these episodes that we do, as I take you along my haunted journeys to these places, is how much family and friends and loved ones decorate some of these gravestones and memorials. It's just amazing. And it's interesting too, this one's down here kind of by itself, and those are kind of by themselves. Oh, there's a few things in the cemetery I want to show you, but this is one of them. This is a gorgeous statue. Now I think this woman, maybe, I don't know if she has her fist or if she was pointing to heaven, but probably originally, I'm not sure, because it looks like her finger is missing. So I think it was a woman, you know, maybe for a sign of peace, or like an angel pointing up to the sky, to the heavens. Because I see on the left there's a part where there should have been a finger sticking up, but it's flat now. So it must have fell off due to rain and erosion in time with the weather. It's a beautiful statue. Beautiful, is again of a woman or an angel showing peace, pointing towards the heavens, but the finger missing, probably due to erosion from all the rain and weather. It's a very nice memorial. Very nice. I would like to ask a question too. This would be my one question, interview question, that I've done on some of the episodes. You see this stone right here? It almost looks like the Washington Memorial, or it looks like the monument on the Battle of Bunker Hill. And you get quite a few as you go through some of these cemeteries down here. My one question interview today is, these ones that look like the Washington Monument, or like the monument at the Battle of Bunker Hill, does anybody know why these stones are prevalent in New England cemeteries? Is it, yeah, like it was, and these are big stones, so I mean they were probably, you see them all over the place. I mean, there's a huge one way in the back. If I get the time to show it to you, I will. But it's just interesting, these stones that either look like the Washington Memorial, or they look like the monument to the Battle of Bunker Hill in Boston. And so again, my one question interview for today is, does anybody know out here or anywhere in the world that why in the New England area these stones are prevalent? Again, looking like the Washington Monument, or even more so in the time these stones were put here, looks like the monument of the Battle of Bunker Hill. Why are these used? Where is it? This is just like a typical stone that some wealthy families would do in the New England area. But why is that stone prevalent here, especially in cemeteries and graveyards in the New England area? If anybody has the answer to that, please write in the comment section below. But yeah, what a beautiful day. And again, now that it's officially autumn and fall, to all my family and friends that support me out there no matter what, and to the fans and viewers of the show, I just want to say, all of you today, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you a happy autumn, and I hope you enjoy your fall. But seriously, such a gorgeous fall day. Probably in the 70s, I would say, 70, 75. Dry heat, warm. I think the humidity is done. Because even though we had a lot of rain this spring and summer, this summer, the days that were hot, we had like sometimes 5 days in a row for a week where it'd be 90 to 100, 95 to 105, like very hot. So days it wasn't cool and raining, we did kind of have a hot summer. So it's nice to have the cooler temps. Now this is an interesting grave right here. John Gunnison and his wife Ellen Gutton. Now this is a big tree that they recently cut down. Now when these two people were buried here, like with John's, he's still on flat ground. With Ellen, she was probably on flat ground, but it's since moved. But as you can see, there are roots going into her grave and nearby graves. So like I said, my theory as a paranormal investigator is, when a tree has its roots going into a grave like this or disturbing the grave, you can't tell me that that doesn't stir up some energy to possibly for ghosts and spirits to do a possible haunting. That has to stir up the energy a little bit. Maybe not all. Sometimes, yeah. Because it's disturbing, like where that person was buried. This is one of the highlights I wanted to show to you in this cemetery in this episode. This guy here, this is an awesome memorial. Now there's probably some veterans in here because we got an American flag, so whoever's buried here who's a veteran, thank you for your service to our country. But huge burial, probably of at least 9-10 people or more. And you can walk up to this, which I will. The last name is Buxton. And it says Henry Clay Buxton, 1832 to 1900, has a symbol of the Freemasons. Now, I've never seen this in a New England cemetery. You might see this in the bigger cities like Boston, New York City, Chicago. But in Milford, New Hampshire, we've had some wealthy families here, absolutely. But I've never seen a life-size bust of a man. So the Buxton family, they must have been extremely wealthy people. Let's check it out. And again, here's his name, when he was born, when he died, and a symbol of the Freemasons. Very nice. And he probably served in military because he has a hat there with a sword. So he probably was a high-ranking officer that fought in some kind of a war. Check this out. This is cool. I might even have to back up, but this is again a full-size bust of Henry Clay Buxton, and it's very unusual, like in a New England cemetery, especially in Milford, New Hampshire. Like I said, we had wealthy families here, absolutely, but I've never seen like a life-size bust of somebody. So this family had to be wealthy to like extremely wealthy. Let me come back a little bit to maybe get a more full shot of him. Or you can see his uniform. I mean, that is so cool. Never seen anything like it in this area. It's one of the highlights of this cemetery. Check it out sometime if you're here. We got to get going now. And like I say in some of my episodes of this brand new online paranormal show is, some of these places are so large I don't get to see everything that's there. So if you like one of the places I went to in one of my episodes, then come to this place yourself, wherever it might be. Take pictures, photographs, and if you want to, do a longer video. But again, I want these episodes to be educational, informative, as well as fun and entertaining. And this is another cool one right here, and it's the Rideout family. And it's a woman with a sword. She almost reminds me of Joan of Arc, but I don't know if it, or actually it's not with a sword, it's with the anchor. But the anchor parts have gotten broken off, and she's looking towards the heavens. Very beautiful sculpture. This cemetery has like not only that full-size bust, but a few statues that you don't normally see in New England cemeteries. Very nice. Yeah, like I said, I thought it was a sword from a distance, but if you can see right here at the bottom on the right, there is a thing of an anchor, and on the left, that part broke off. A beautiful statue of a lady with an anchor looking towards heaven. Hey, look at here, another Freemason. Just so people know, I used to belong to the Milford, New Hampshire Lions Club, and other places. I used to also belong to the Freemasons and the Oddfellow Society. And I'm going to dedicate this video to my grandfather, Harold Lynn, who is also a Freemason, as well as a U.S. veteran in the U.S. Army. So I'd like to dedicate this video to my grandfather, Harold Lynn. Thank you for your service to our country, and thank you for being my grandfather. And I shall meet you in the next lifetime, brother. But yeah, if I can see some of these stones. Yeah, and the other stone I'm going to show you here is, you can see with a lot of these cemeteries and graveyards that we go to for this show, that a lot of the graves are lined up the same way. They're in a straight line. Some are going the same way, some are facing each other. But all together, they're in a straight line. Well, I'm going to show you a stone that for some reason, the name of the people, the last name, the surname, is way off to the right, but yet they're buried in front of me off to the left. I've never seen that, because for instance, I'll give you an example, just at random. This stone here is for Talbot, all right? It's sitting straight like a lot of these other stones. Talbot. Right here somebody's buried there, Talbot, right in front of the stone. All right, so you got the surname, the last name on the headstone, and the person is buried right in front of it. That's usually normally what it is. But I'm going to show you a stone where the name of the person, the surname, is off to the right, and the burial is in front of me, off to the left. I don't know if it's just me, but that's odd. Yeah, we got another American flag here for a veteran named Lund. So, Mr. Lund, Mrs. Lund, whoever served, thank you for your service to our country. And at this point, I just want to say, I want to dedicate this video also to all the young men and women that are in our U.S. Armed Forces all over the world, including the ones that just came out of Afghanistan and Iraq, and including the 13 Marines that were murdered and killed by ISIS, Taliban, Al-Qaeda terrorists. Let's remember all the young men and women who have served our country so that the United States of America could be free like it is. Thank you to all of you for your service. I do appreciate you, always. So we're coming up on the stone when I was talking about. This stone here, though, for Susie, she was only 29 years old. Thank God they could at least put it back together, but my goodness, man, it may be because of the weather or something, or it fell over and broke. She was only 29 years old, but at least it's nice that they fixed it. Alright, this is what I was telling you about. This stone, which should be like where that one is in front of it, around here, Hall, is way off to the right. But then yet the burials for John Hall is here, and for his wife Beatrice is here. And normally that stone for Hall, the big one, should be there, but yet it's there. I find that odd, but I think it's kind of cool too, because you don't normally see that. Alright, I'm gonna go around them and go this back way and go to the other side and try to show you as much as I can while I'm here. I try to make the videos and the episodes quick, because I know nowadays we're all busy working, trying to earn a living, trying to spend time with family and friends as best we can, and we don't have so much time to see a video that's like half hour, 45 minutes, 1 or 2 hours or more. I mean, for me that's just too long. So I'd rather film videos for this show, episodes that are short and sweet and to the point, that somewhat give you an idea of what the place is like. And this one, in the beginning, I showed you the granite pillars in the front with the gate. With some of these cemeteries I know in New England, some of them leave the gate open, some of them lock them at night. There's one here in Milford, New Hampshire. It's a big one called Riverside Cemetery, if I have the correct name. And there's sometimes I've driven by there late at night where the gates are still open, and then there's other times where I've driven there where the gates are closed. So I would say if you come into a cemetery like this where it has a front gate, then absolutely use caution. Remember, dawn till dusk, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So like I said, some cemeteries in the New England area, or wherever you might live, some of their gates might be open all the time, some of their gates might be locked after closing hours. So use your best judgment. You want to stay within that time. If you stay too late, you might get locked in. Yeah, I'm gonna fix these flowers over here. It's a little bit of a breezy day, but it's nice. But these flowers fell over, so whenever I visit a cemetery, if I can help out somebody so the flowers last a little bit longer and those are nice, I'll do my best to do it. Try to do my part as a caretaker of these historical places, because they are memorial parks. And it's interesting too, because sometimes these places, maybe something will happen at the town hall or the city hall where they burned down or had fire damage or a flood, where they lost, once in a while they'll lose records of people in this area. but a cemetery or graveyard, which is a historical memorial park, will show the people that lived here, born here, lived here, and died here. So these places are important. We must protect them. This one here, if I can get it in, says something like, I don't know if the top broke off there, but it says, Little Mary, here in faith and hope we laid our morning glory. Maybe you have a little girl, Little Mary. And then this, if I can get it in, it's some kind of a shield, but these ones were not, I don't think they were veterans, so I don't know what that shield stands for. Because I've seen different ones for military, but I don't know what that shield is for. But this is for Little Mary. Again, here in faith and hope we laid our morning glory. Very nice. Very nice. Alright, we're getting towards the end of the cemetery tour and of another episode of my cemetery tours with the Graveyard Guide. And again, I'm your host and local paranormal investigator, Mark Len. Originally born and raised in California, living in the states of California and Kentucky, and now living in New Hampshire. And I'm proud to live in the New England area. I love this place, it's so beautiful, and I'm proud to live in the great granite state of New Hampshire. Again, live free or die. And this is another big one. See, they got a lot of these ones. To me, it looks, yeah, some of them look like the Washington Memorial, but some of them look like the Battle of Bunker Hill Memorial that you see in Boston, where Americans died fighting the British. Like similar to this one, but look at this one. It has a lot of trees and stuff around it. And these ones back here, this is interesting. Like Abigail Lovejoy, like right in the bushes. And then somebody down here, Lovejoy. Went to a cemetery one time that a lady from the 1800s had a name, Submit, and I might go visit that place. I love interesting names, like semantics, where names and words, what they mean and where they come from, absolutely fascinates me. Well, thank you for coming on this haunted journey with me for another episode. Stay tuned for more. And remember, I'm going to do a special Halloween night episode where I'll go to one of these locations and do a quick, brief but professional paranormal investigation to see if we can capture any ghosts or spirit voices. This was written by Kelsey Lynn. It was produced by Brandon Lane. And it was directed by Heather G. Lynn, with the help of production assistants Wayne Dunn, with Amy Peters, and also with Shira Greenberg. And also with the help of my good friend, historical liaison, special guest, psychic medium Katrina Van Tassel. And until the next time, my friends, take care, so long, and happy hauntings. And watch out for any ghosts or spirits lurking about. If you hear or see anything in any of these episodes that could be a ghostly spirit lurking about, please list it in the comments section below. And I just want to say real quick, Jesus Christ is my personal Savior, and God bless the United States of America.